Eileen's crime shocked the nation, but so did her childhood. How could a girl who had experienced so much love and care grow up to become such a monster? Well, that's what many people asked themselves when they heard Eileen's story. But it wasn't just her upbringing that made her case so fascinating. It was also the way she carried out her murders. Unlike many serial killers who targeted strangers, Eileen's victims were often men she met through personal ads or at truck stops. She would pick them up, take them to a secluded area, and then shoot them in the head before stealing their belongings. She seemed to target older, wealthier men, and she always used a .22 caliber pistol. After the killings, she would dispose of the bodies in remote areas, sometimes leaving the men's credit cards behind to make purchases. This method of killing was not only brutal, but it was also highly unusual, which made it harder for law enforcement to catch her. On October 3rd, 1989, a man named Richard Mallory went missing after answering an ad placed by Aileen in the Miami Herald. His body was found the following month in a wooded area, and investigators linked it to a similar case from August. This was the beginning of the investigation that would lead to Arlen's arrest. As more victims were discovered, investigators began to piece together a terrifying picture of a cunning, heartless killer. They learned that all of the men had met Aileen through personal ads or truck stops, and all of them had been shot in the head with a .22 caliber pistol. Although there was no physical evidence linking Aileen directly to the murders, the pattern was so distinctive that the police began to focus on her. Then on December 1989, a witness came forward claiming to have seen Aileen with one of the victim's credit cards. Police began searching for her, but she had vanished. Finally, on January 9, 1990, Aileen was spotted by a police officer in Florida and taken into custody. She was charged with murder, and soon her face was plastered across newspapers and TV screens nationwide. The public was shocked. They couldn't believe that a seemingly ordinary woman like Aileen could be capable of such heinous crimes. What made her snap? What drove her to kill? For a while, Aileen remained silent, but eventually she began to talk. She told the police that she had acted in self-defense, claiming that all of the men had tried to assault her while she was working as a sex worker. She said she had no choice but to kill them. This defense didn't hold up, however, and soon Aileen was convicted of 6 counts of murder and sentenced to death. In the years that followed, her case became one of the most infamous in American history. People were fascinated by her story, not only because of the brutality of her crimes, but also because she broke the mold of the typical serial killer. In fact, Aileen is still considered to be the first widely recognized female serial killer in the United States. Her case raised questions about the nature of evil, about whether anyone can truly understand the darkness that lurks in the human heart. It also raised questions about the justice system, about whether capital punishment is ever truly justified. Ultimately, though, perhaps the most important question we can ask ourselves is this: how could such a thing happen? How could a person, no matter how broken or damaged, descend into such darkness? We may never have all the answers, but we can at least strive to understand. And in doing so, we may just find that we are better able to understand ourselves. Aileen Wuornos was executed on October 9, 2002 by lethal injection. Her story continues to fascinate and terrify people around the world. Perhaps that's because it reminds us that evil can come in many forms, but most of all, perhaps it reminds us that we should never give up hope. No matter how dark things may seem, there is always light if we only take the time to look for it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.